25. Ha! I'm an adult. Hi everyone. Welcome back to LTTK. Let's Twist to Knowledge. My name is Ololade, and I am your host. And as you can tell, I'm really excited today because it's my birthday. I'ma say what I like. I'ma tell you what I like. It's my birthday, guys, and I'm really excited about that. But more importantly, in today's episode, as a special event, I'd like to share 5 things that I've learned in the 25 years that I've been existing. Yes, I'm 25. So the first lesson is on gratitude and appreciation. And this is very important to me because usually on my birthdays, I kind of reflect. I think a lot. I think about how far I have come. And in thinking about that, it just occurs to me that, wow, Lolade, a lot has happened to you. You've been so blessed, and gratitude is a must. If you cannot remember where you're coming from, you will not be able to appreciate where you are today. And this is one of the things that I have always been mindful of, being grateful. Honestly, I always keep this in mind. May I never be ungrateful, because we tend to forget. Human beings, we're very forgetful. Many times we feel like we deserve things. We feel like we are entitled to things. We are entitled to situations. Like nobody owes me anything. And if anything, this is keeping it at the back of my mind that wherever I am today, whatever I've been able to achieve or accomplish for myself, it's just because of grace. And this is why I'm always grateful. The second lesson, very important as well, is change is inevitable. I mean, since I was born up until now, definitely I have changed. I have grown. So situations change, people change. And sometimes I kind of feel like we expect people to remain the same. We expect people to just be the way we have always known them to be before. Let me just give you an example. So when I am talking to some of my friends from high school, I remember that when we were in high school, this was how we were, this was how we rolled, or if there's anything like that. But right now, people have grown. Like it's so different now. The conversations that we would be having back then is definitely different from the conversations we have now. It's because we've changed and our interests have changed as well. It's just what it is. Life goes on. The most important thing is for me to know that every season, whatever change I experience, it comes and it goes. Like there will always be something else coming afterward. And so I can look forward to the next. And so this is kind of leading to the third lesson that I've learned, which is community. And community is key. I think I have mentioned it before in one of my episodes that I have found that friendships is one of the really important aspects of my life that I like to invest in. I like to invest in my friendships. I like to invest in community. And I have found that my community is very instrumental in my growth, in the way I see the world, in the way I perceive situations around me. And over the years, I have come to build really strong community around my life. And this community for me is very essential. It is part of what is keeping me sane. Man is a social being. He has to interact. We have to interact. We cannot just exist in silos or exist in isolation. You know what I mean? So we have to always be surrounded by people whom we have the same interests, and I have found that my community, super. I'm so grateful, and this is probably like a shout out to my community, guys. Yourselves. Thank you very much for being in my corner. Thank you for being in my circle, the inner circle, the innermost circle, and the outer circle. Thank you, guys. You get the point. Lesson number 4. Comfortable is a trap. Oh gosh. This one, I feel like sometimes when maybe I have gotten to a point where I feel like I have achieved something, I can just like to stay in that zone. But it gets to a point where my body starts to feel uneasy. I start to feel like there is more, and I'm not attaining, I'm not pushing, I'm not going for that. And if I stay in that zone, that comfortable zone, I'm going to wear out. That's just like my personal, I don't know if it happens to you, but when I get too comfortable in a space, not like a physical space, it's more of like when I get too comfortable being just one thing or doing just one thing, I get weary, so I always have to keep pushing, I always have to keep moving forward, and moving forward is not always comfortable. But the funny thing about discomfort is it is very instrumental in your leap forward. When you get too comfortable, you don't even know what can be. You just assume this is it. You don't even see how your life can evolve. You don't even see what opportunities lie ahead. But the moment you get uncomfortable doing the same thing, just doing the routine thing, just merely existing, that is when you can actually push for something that is meaningful. Comfortable is a trap. Don't be trapped, okay? Okay. And the final lesson that I've learned, can you take a guess? Ding, 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 ding. Okay. God is in control. Wow. Like this one is, I had to leave it for the last or save it for the last because honestly, on my birthdays, I spend time really thinking, really reflecting. And where I am now, I never in my life would have thought I would get here. I really, honestly, so for example, 3 years ago or 2 years ago, let's say 3 or 2 years ago, when my friends, my mom, my brother would tell me, Lolade, I think you should do a master's, you should get a master's degree. In my head, I'm like, I don't want it. I don't need a master's. What am I using master's to do? I'm okay now, as long as you have job, or you have job that you are doing, food is on the table, that's all that matters. I wasn't really thinking of the future and what could be. I was just, that's why I even said comfortable is a trap, right? I was comfortable in that moment, but along the line I started getting uncomfortable. I was so uncomfortable that I started complaining about my current position. And the reason why I say God is in control is in that moment I started getting a sense of this is where I am supposed to be. This is where I should press toward. Not like physically, It's like I started getting this inclination from God that this is what He wanted me to do. This is what you should be doing right now. And honestly, between then and now, I would say that God has really been in control of my life and the moves that I have made. I mean, there are so many examples and testimonies of really saying that God is in control of my life. To be very honest, I don't really want to go into the details about that, but maybe I should share one example with you. So in 2016, when I did my National Youth Service Corps, in Lagos, Nigeria, I wanted in my mind, I really wanted to work in a particular company, and I had tried I even went for the interview because I did an internship there like 2 years before, and I just knew that I wanted to do that. I wanted to work there because I already had like some experience working with the people, so I was like, this is it for me, But so what happened was, I attended the interview, but I did not get any feedback from them on whether or not I got it. And I started thinking that could it be that God is leading me into something else? Anyway, during my NYSC, the 3 weeks orientation camp period, my friend and I, we agreed to pray and fast. So one of those days we took our time to pray and fast, and we were praying that God will influence our posting into a proper, good organization, that God's will be done. Basically, that was the prayer focus. And you will not believe that where they posted me to, it was a proper organization. I dare say that it was the start of a beautiful career path. God is really in control of my life, and this is one of the lessons that I've learned, probably the most important. And sometimes I get to forget, but again, it's just this reinforcement thing that comes in my head to be like, Ololade, don't forget, God is in control, don't forget. Anywho, happy birthday to me, and thank you for everybody who is wishing me well. God bless you. I hope you've enjoyed this episode, and if you have watched it until this point, this is where I get to say thank you. And if you are not subscribed yet, please consider subscribing, join my community, and let's grow and learn together. Okay. All right guys, I'm really excited. It's not every day you get to turn +1, so indulge me. Okay. All right everyone, take care. Bye.